Coach, thanks for joining us so much.
Absolutely.
First, tell me, what are you calling this offense?
This is called double wing.
So this is a double wing, and I've been watching a little bit, and it looks to me like you've taken the traditional wing T offense and melded it with the new wing bone that you see at Georgia Tech and saw at Navy with Paul Johnson. Is that kind of what's going on?
It looks a lot like that, and there's a lot of similarities between those offenses.
So what's the point? What's the philosophy? What are you trying to do?
It's really smash mouth football. We pull backside guard and tackle. We have double teams on the point of attack on the play side. And there's just a lot of power there, but it's mixed with misdirection. It's like one of those hat games at the Braves game where you try to figure out which hat the ball's under, and you have to worry which player's got the ball here.
In college, for me, it was the wing bone, and in high school, I ran the wing T, and so for me, this is very familiar, but there are some things that are different. Talk about the splits of your offensive linemen.
Well, yeah, that is one difference. It looks like the same as the Georgia Tech offense from the side, but when you look at it head on, you'll notice that we have 0 line splits between our linemen. But what that allows us to do is pull to the point of attack, because the line is so compressed, they can take 2 or 3 steps either left or right and be somewhere, be at the point of attack, and the defenders just can't get there that quick.
Well, you say look from the side and it looks the same. Almost. You're what I call the B-back. Your fullback is pretty close in on the quarterback.
That's right. We call him in the sniffer position. He's right there, almost at the backside of the QB, where he can reach out and just touch him. But that keeps him hidden. And a lot of times we can slip the fullback the ball, and nobody ever sees it because he's behind an opaque fence, which is the offensive line. And he can be hidden, and everybody sort of forgets about the fullback.
Well, let's talk about a couple of the plays. Talk about the wedge play. Walk us through that.
Well, the wedge play is extreme power play. It's really like a 7-on-1 block. And one of the things that we do that sort of gets the kids to understand the power of it is we'll take them out in the parking lot and let them push like one of the coaches' SUVs around the parking lot with a wedge. And we'll say, look, there's 5 of you guys that just pushed a 6,000-pound vehicle. Now, do you think you can push an 11-year-old kid, 12-year-old kid? And they go, yeah, absolutely. So it's very powerful. And you're not so much pushing on an opposing player, you're pushing on your own players, and you can just go down the field. Really, the only way to stop it is people just have to hit the turf and grab grass.
Talk about some of your misdirection plays.
Well, we have quite a few counter plays. We've got crisscross, where it'll get pitched to one guy and then handed off to another. We've got traditional counter plays, spinning quarterback, where the quarterback will spin, a lot like wing T, hand it to either a fullback or a wingback, and we've also got like a shuffle pass going each way. So we have quite a few misdirection plays.
It's kind of a complicated offense if you just walk up and look at it. How long did you have to prepare this team before your first game?
Well, we have, let's see, I think we've got 3 weeks with 4 practices a week. But we've installed this before, like in an all-star game setting where you have 4 practices. We've installed it in 1 practice. It is complicated. The main thing is just getting all the reps down and getting the execution down. But if you really want to install it with some guys that know what they're doing, we've installed it in 45 minutes before.
A lot of offensive coordinators say that you shape your offense to your personnel. How does personnel work into this particular offense?
Well, speed is awesome. You always want fast guys in the backfield. And we're blessed to have 4 or 5 guys that are very fast, and that just makes it very difficult. Like our first game, we had 5 different guys that scored. The next game, we had 4 different guys that scored, and so you got a lot of speed. And then it's sort of traditional. I mean, you want big guys on the line, and we have some decent size on the line. But the main thing is just the speed. And when you have 4 guys going 4 different directions, and you're not sure who has the ball, that's just a dangerous situation for a defense.
As an old pulling guard myself, I noticed that you're pulling linemen on almost every play. How does the tight split work into your strategy of pulling your guard and your tackle?
Well, it just allows them to go to the point of attack and pull very quickly. They can take 2 or 3 steps laterally, and they're at the point of attack. And once they're there, they're going to just go through the hole. Now, what we do to close the gap on the backside is we have the backside tight end do what we call a crab block, and he just kind of goes down on all 4s and does a crab block, and he closes the gap.
Tell me about the superpower play I'm hearing so much about.
Well, that's our bread and butter play, we call it, where It's just a very power play. It's very tough play to defend. If you can't figure out how to defend that, it's almost game over because we'll run it over and over and over. But what it is on the play side, you've got double or even triple teams on the defensive play side. And then you've got backside guard and tackle pulling. You've got fullback kicking out the defensive end, quarterback kicking out the cornerback, and then you've got the quarterback, turning into a fullback and blocking. So you have so much power at the point of attack that it's just very difficult to defend. It's firstest with the mostest. You've got just so many people at the point of attack.
It's the old Green Bay power sweep. Get as many people out front as you can.
You've got an inner wall and an outer wall, and you got the running back going right down the alley.
Create a lane, give them some space.
That's right. That's what it is.
Coach, great job. Thank you so much for joining us. That's going to do it for us today. We'll see you right back here next time for another great edition of Clubhouse Gas.